In this video, we will be looking at third declension nouns. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you want more Latin grammar in the future. So, to begin with, remember that declensions is just a way of saying patterns, and there are 5 different ways, 5 different patterns, declensions a noun can belong to in Latin. The third declension has 2 main patterns depending on the gender, whether it's masculine and feminine, it goes one way, and with its neuter, it will go another. In this video, we will look at the general grammar to begin with of our third declension nouns, then we will look at some examples, and then we will finish with some practice questions to make sure that you are comfortable with your third declension nouns. So this is our pattern of our masculine or feminine third declension nouns. For the nominative and vocative, it will just be whatever it is in the vocab list. There is no set nominative for the ending of the third declension. So if we take rex, it goes rex, rex, and then you start adding on endings to your stem. You find the stem in the genitive singular. That's because in the vocab list, nouns will always be listed with their nominative singular and their genitive singular, and then it will say their gender as well. So it will say rex, reges, masculine. So we then add on our endings, which are m, is, e, a, a's, ibus, ibus. So it goes rex, rex, regem, regis, regi, regay, reges, 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 regum, regibus, regibus. That is how your third declension, masculine or feminine, declines. Now if we add in some more, you can see a few variations here. So to begin with, if we look, the difference between these first and second columns is pretty minor. The only thing we are really noting is that in some third declension nouns, they have no extra or change in their stem. So their genitive stem is clamor there for shout, and that's also the nominative. So it just looks like you have no extra endings. They don't always change in their stems. Now if we look at navis, we've established that the masculine and feminine go the same pattern. You will notice, however, there is a difference here in ium. And actually, this could be nave or navi. It can have either because it is an I stem noun, which I'll explain in a second. But note the main difference here is that ium in the genitive. And then the neuter table, you can see, as we've established before, if you need a reminder, click on the video now for your second declension nouns. In neuter nouns, your nominative, vocative, and accusative is always identical. So that's the same in the singular and the plural. So nomen, 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 and then we come in with our normal endings. Nominis, nomini, nomine, nomina, 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 nominum, nominibus, nominibus. And again, note the change in stem from nomen in the nominative singular to nomin with that I in the genitive singular. So there is a stem change here, even though it almost doesn't sound like there is. This is really common in the third declension, where your nominative has a different kind of stem to the genitive singular, and the stem that you need to add your endings onto is the genitive singular minus that is. So if you look in the last column, if you ever need a refresher, your overall endings are as we see them there. M, is, e, a, or an e there, so e or an I, and then a's, or a or ia if it's nominative, and then or ium. So when you've got that I as the alternative all the way through there, that's when we're talking about I stems, which we'll come on to now, and then ibus are your third declension endings. So, I stem nouns, as promised. You have ium in the genitive plural, and you can have an I in the ablative singular. You don't have to, it can be either. It's more common for it to be an E, like the letter E, but you will sometimes see in archaic or poetic language that it can be an I. The 2 rules for knowing if your noun is an I stem noun are as follows. If you have the same number of syllables in the nominative and the genitive singular, then it will be an I stem. Or if it has a double consonant at the end of its stem. So think like that includes a K and an X as well. So think like nox, noctis is the word for night. That CT is a double consonant, so that will be an I stem. So in the genitive plural, it will be noctium. So that means night. And the only exceptions that we have to this rule, we have to learn. And just think, they're kind of like a weird family. You have mother, mater, father, pater, brother, frater, old man, senex, young man, juvenis, and dog, canis. So those are your 6 exceptions to the I stem rule. They all should be I stems by the rules that we've learnt above, but they are exceptions. So they are not I stems. So they do not have that ium. In the genitive, that would be matrum, not matrium, genitive plural. So again, this is your overarching view of your third declension nouns. Okay, so here's some examples which you can use as practice. So what I recommend you do is you pause your video here, have a go, and then tune back in for the answers. Let me know how you went in the comments below. So you have servus, regem, amat. All your vocab is up in this little blue box here. So servus, we know. If you need to recap your second declension nouns, make sure that you go check out my video on that. You have the slave in the nominative singular. Amat, he loves. And then regem, accusative singular ending. So he loves the king. Number 2, puelli, the girls. If you need to recap your first declension nouns, make sure you click on the link that is coming up now. The girls, they love amant. They love the templar, neuter, a second declension noun. So they love the temples. And then deorum, of the gods. Okay, so bizarrely that did not have a third declension noun to practice. If we imagine we wanted to say the temple of the kings, how would we say that? We would say the templa, and then rex, regem, regis, regi, reges, regum, regibus. So regum, it would be templa, regum would be of the kings. Bellum, the war. Terret, scares. And then here, accusative plural. Could be nominative plural, but here the verb is singular. So the war scares the kings. Okay, so nomen here, neuter. Could be nominative, could be accusative. Let's look what else we have in the sentence. Puelli could be nominative plural, could be genitive. Is our verb singular or plural? It's singular. Audit, he, she, or it, his. So puelli is not going to be nominative. So it'll probably be genitive, of the girl. And then poeta. Okay, that's either nominative or ablative. Here it's going to have to be our nominative, because it won't make sense to say the name hears. So the poet hears the name, because nomen can be nominative or accusative, the name of the girl. So you can see here how you have to go through all the different options to be able to start untangling your Latin sentences. Okay, number 5, the master, dominus, has to be nominative. The master, audit, hears. And he hears the clamores, the shouts. And then servorum, genitive, plural, the shouts of the slaves. And then the last question here, reges. Now, could be nominative, could be accusative. Now, do we have any other nominative? Servis, no, that's ablative. Clamorem, accusative. Audiunt, yep, plural verb. So, the kings. And then cum servis is going to go together. Whatever a noun is agreeing with your preposition will go directly after it. So, with the slaves, and what happens? The kings hear the shout with the slaves. So, the kings with the slaves hear the shout. So, how did you do? If you have any questions about anything, don't forget to let me know in the comments, and like this video if it was useful for you. As always, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more Latin grammar videos incoming soon. Thank you!